You outlined two scenarios, a return to growth and that of a more pessimistic view. What is your view about the impact of both on our housing market here for the foreseeable future, please?
Already seen a significant impact on the housing market. I think you'll understand that as the construction sector was temporarily put to sleep, I suppose, as part of the public health guidelines, then housing supply came to a standstill. We've seen a gradual return, but the slowdown already witnessed will have an impact on housing supply this year. We will also not see the industry return at full capacity because of public health protocols, physical distancing. The capacity of the housing sector will be affected for a period of time. The length of that time will depend upon the duration of the virus and whether or not we see a resurgence, and hence our two scenarios are also relevant in terms of what we estimate the impact on the housing market will be. So to give some numbers, before the virus, in our first quarterly bulletin of the year, we were estimating around 26,000 new housing units to be produced this year, rising to almost 32,000 in 2022. Our current estimates in our baseline scenario, which assumes that the economy continues to open up broadly in line with the schedule announced by the government, then we estimate housing output this year of only 16,000, so 10,000 fewer units than we were previously expecting. And by 2022, we think this will be around 22,000, so also 10,000 fewer units. So that means in aggregate, 30,000 fewer units compared to what we were expecting prior to the outbreak of the virus under our baseline scenario. The outcome would be considerably worse in the event of a resurgence. So our severe scenario assumes that there is some resurgence, or second wave as some people call it, at some point over the next year. In that case, housing output would again be significantly affected in addition to the capacity constraints. And in that case, we think that housing output could be lower again by the order of another 15,000. And we think, in fact, housing output in 2022 will be only around 15,000. So to remind you of the previous figures, we were previously expecting about 31,000 units, 32,000 in 2022. Under our baseline scenario, that would only be 22,000 units, and under our severe scenario, that would only be around 15,000 units. So we are already in a situation where there is a material shortage of housing supply. That is the most important issue facing the housing sector. We estimate that we are well short of producing enough housing for medium-term requirements, so this will exacerbate the situation.